absolutely beautiful talent again. For Aaron, we thank you. So good to be here in this most beautiful part of America, and great to be here in the proud home of the Johnstown Chiefs. Looks like we have a lot of Chiefs hockey fans here. I gotta believe that we have in this arena where Slapshot was filmed. Gotta believe that we have a strong showing of hockey moms for McCain. So I get to go to a Flyers game tonight. I'm so excited. I'll take any NHL game I can get. I'm happy about this. Sorry that my husband Todd won't be able to be there. He'll be up in New Hampshire and then in Maine today. And I think that you would like Todd. We need to bring him here so you can meet him. He's a guy like many of you. He works with his hands. He works up on the North Slope oil fields, and he's a world champion snow machine racer. And he's a proud member of the United Steelworkers Union. And I'll tell you, he would feel right at home here. And we have a few of our kids here today also. I want to introduce you to Willow and Piper and Trig Palin. Crystal's on the road with us also, and our son Track. He had other commitments as one of many thousands of heroic young men and women serving our country. For your respect of our United States military. I would ask those of you who have served in the past or are serving today in uniform, raise your hand so we can thank you and honor you. We thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice. Well, we are just weeks away from Election Day, and here in Pennsylvania, it's going to come right down to the wire. We're taking our cause for reform to every voter of every background in every region of this great nation, and whether you are a Republican or a Democrat, an independent, maybe no party at all, we're asking for your vote. Pennsylvania, I know that you are ready to help carry us to the White House so that we can shake things up. McCain, the next president of the United States. Really? Are you ready to shake things up in Washington? So our opponent has spent a lot of time in this Commonwealth, and our opponent, you'd think that he would know you all better by now after having spent so much time here. Here in Pennsylvania, you know, we still don't quite know what to make of a candidate who lavishes praise on working people when they're listening, and then though talks about how bitterly they, quote, cling to their religion and their guns when they're not listening. Don't know what to make of a candidate who would say that. We tend to prefer candidates who don't talk about us one way in Johnstown and another way in San Francisco. As for John McCain, I can promise you, wherever he goes, whoever is listening, he is the same man. Yes, he is. You know, for a campaign that says it's all about the future, our opponents do talk a lot about the past, point fingers in the past, and they look to the past because that's where you find blame. But we're joining you in looking to the future because that's where we'll find solutions. They look to the past because they're acting like they'd rather be running against George Bush right now, and that strategy, it's really starting to wear pretty thin. own man, and he, from an enemy camp, prison camp as a POW, to the halls of Congress, he has always put his country first. See, the American people know John McCain, and that's what our opponents are most afraid of. He's the only man in this race who talks about the wars that America is fighting, and he isn't afraid to use the word victory. And this is as opposed to the other ticket where they can give speech after speech about the wars America is fighting, and just once I want to hear Barack Obama say he wants America to win. Man, and he doesn't run with the Washington herd, and he's known as the Maverick because he stood up to what is wrong in Washington. And as a senator, John McCain has seen the corrupt ways of Washington and the wasteful spending and the abuses of power in Washington and on Wall Street. And as president, he's going to end those abuses, whatever it takes. Such great adversity in his own life, in the service of his country, and he knows how tough challenges are overcome. In a time of great economic hardship and worry today, John McCain's economic recovery plan will help families keep their homes, and retirees keep their savings, and college students paying your tuition, and for all of us, being able to afford health care, and he will get this economy put back on the right track. Together, John and I will complete the work of education reform to give every child in America a chance, and every parent in America even better choices, more choices, as we know best how our child should be educated, more choices. Also to confront the $10 trillion debt that the federal government has run up. That debt that we're handing on to our children and grandchildren, that is unfair. We will balance the federal budget by the end of our first term. What we have to do, because the federal government is in a hole here, John McCain will impose a spending freeze to cover all but the most vital functions of government. Government, like worker retraining and the care of our veterans. Yes. And John and I will bring tax relief to every American and every business so that business owners, you business owners out there, so you can hire more people. That's how jobs are created. In this great community and so many places like it, all that working people ask for is for government to be on their side so that they can have a good job in their own hometown, so that they can have a plant gate to walk through, and a paycheck to count on, and with lower taxes, and a pro-growth agenda, and spending under control finally in Washington, we are going to get this economy back on track again. Of my track record as a mayor, what I was able to do was eliminate personal property taxes and eliminate small business inventory taxes so that businesses would come into my inventory taxes, so that businesses would come